What is cracking, everybody? Welcome back to Boo TV. Like, comment, and subscribe. And let's talk about the topic for today. Shall we? All right, so Kyrie Irving recently has been quoted in an interview basically talking about his displeasure with what he has seen from his team, that is the Brooklyn Nets, thus far in the preseason. All right, and Kyrie Irving says, the low-hanging fruit that we could honestly all agree on is sometimes in possessions we're not playing hard enough. You saw it against Miami the other night. They were really physical, and we don't want that to be our stigma or MO in the league. Well, my dear Kyrie Irving, I'm sorry to tell you. It's not about it becoming your stigma or MO in the league. It is already your stigma or MO in the league, since especially last season. And believe me, that carried with you guys through your playoff exit, through the summer, and you guys are rolling in with that stigma or MO already. This is coming from a guy that's rooting for Brooklyn Nets and, Kyrie and KD to get it together, because would love to see them win together. I love to watch both of them boys play. All right? Listen, man, and I understand it's just preseason, and Kyrie, you're doing the right things. You're trying to say the right things publicly so that the people know that you and maybe other people might be conveying that message to the team. Though, for me, I don't have to hear it publicly. I would, have to assume that you guys are having conversations in the locker room trying to figure this out. I don't have to know what's in the locker room. But, I'm assuming that now you said it publicly, you're definitely saying it in the locker room, which is good. These conversations need to be had, what have you. But, buddy, that's already your stigma. That's already your MO. And for me, it's like, if you don't have the right... Well, let me say this. Even... There's been lots of rumors, not even rumors, players that used to be in that locker room have come out and said that that team really lacks a voice, really lacks a leader. Leadership can be shown in many different ways. A voice can be portrayed many different ways. But, from what I've seen from this team so far, their first, 3-4 years since they've been together, I can't even remember. I would probably, from the outside looking in, I'd probably have to guess that, they're really missing a stern voice, stern leadership, somebody that these men will heed to, will, drop whatever they're doing and listen to, and galvanize and become galvanized by their leader, by his words, by his actions, and follow suit. I don't think this team has that guy. I don't. You look at, I always think about, back in 2008, the finals, when Kobe labeled the team soft, especially Pau Gasol. And Kobe ain't taking no bullshit. Kobe was never taking no bullshit. So Kobe called him out. We was soft. Our team is soft. And Pau Gasol was labeled soft after that finals. And you know what happened after that? They won 2 straight championships. And Pau Gasol never looked better. As far as a physicality standpoint, as far as being mentally and physically tough. And the team looked tougher. Because Kobe Bryant, as a leader, his voice and through his actions, wasn't having that. And they followed him to the promised land. That's our leader. We're going to ride with him. Let's cut this. Let's tuck that stuff inside us. Whatever that ice cream, that gelatin we got inside us, we better tuck that stuff in and keep it to ourselves and come out here and try to win a championship. They don't have that guy like that on that roster. So while Kyrie's saying all the right words and whatnot, I don't see it. I don't see it happening. One, I look at their roster changes they have made. They should have kept Blake Griffin. That's a physical, tough body. Blake ain't no chump, bro. And I look at the players they add. I think Royce O'Neal was a good addition. He can be physical. He's a defensive-minded player. But I'm looking at the rest of their roster, and I'm just like, well, individually, none of these guys are great defenders outside of Royce O'Neal and Ben Simmons. But even with Ben Simmons, he plays good, sound defense. But I don't even know if I could really call him physically, like he's an enforcer, like a physically tough enforcer, per se. But let's just say he's physically tough for his defense. But you also got mental toughness. Ben Simmons ain't mentally tough. We all know that. And if you didn't know that before, we know that now after everything that's been happening with Ben. He ain't mentally tough. So you got physical toughness and you got mental toughness. And they have to what's the word I want to use? They have to work together hand in hand. Especially as a unit, especially as a basketball unit. So outside of that, they don't have any defenders on this roster. And then you talk about leadership. Who are they going to listen to? Right? Who was technically the leader? You know, you got KD, Kyrie, obviously. But the head coach is Steve Nash. The head coach is who? Who? Steve Nash. Of all the all-star point guards this league has ever seen, he is somewhere on the top of the list as all-star point guard who is a complete liability defensively, does not play defense, let alone physical. This is a guy as a product of the Mike D'Antoni system. He won his MVPs under the Mike D'Antoni system. Mike D'Antoni, the guy that said our defense is our offense. When he talk about defense, it's about defense. Our offense is our defense. And Steve Nash believed that. What do you think? You think anybody's going to listen to Steve Nash trying to galvanize his team when Steve Nash is trying to preach to them defense? Nash, you never believed in it. Why should we believe this you talking about? Why should we believe this? You never believed in it. I mean, these words coming out your mouth, but you don't really believe that, do you, Nash? You don't really believe that. I don't think you do. Bro. Oh my God. That Phoenix Suns team, their thing was just like let them outscore us. Play some mediocre to shitty defense, but at the end of the day, yeah, let them outscore us because they can't outscore us. So let them get their shots up because we got too much offensive firepower. Come on, man. Steve Nash, I'm surprised Steve Nash still even has a job. The dude, despite the offensive mastermind he should be, some of his rotations are bogus. Off the wall bogus. And I'm looking at these rotations, which I think his coaching decision, his rotation decisions, in that series versus the Milwaukee Bucks, that 7-game series, I think it cost him that series. Because I'm watching, was it game 6, game 7? And I'm like, dude, what are these rotations you got? What are you doing? Also, his timeout management is horrible. I'm watching Brooklyn Nets games, and I was like, dog, you have the timeout. You got to call a timeout here. You got to run a play. You have the comfort of got a couple of timeouts, dude. Dude, they use a timeout. And I'm just like, Nash, what are you doing? This guy cannot coach. Cannot coach. And if it was a black guy, I'm sure his ass would have been off the seat already. If it was a black guy after how this, even with all the injuries they had and Kyrie not coming into the season late and the James Harden drama and all that shit, black guy probably would have been off the seat already. They would have fired his ass. I thought they were going to fire him after this season, and I was like, he needs to go. But no, he's still there. Yeah, man, I don't see it happening. Kyrie, you're saying the right things, but unless y'all get the pieces, the individual pieces to bring it all together collectively, as far as being, having defensive prowess and being physical, I don't see it happening. Now, sure, it could happen. They only got two guys on the team that are really known for defense, but I've seen it happen where collectively, as a unit, you guys can dig down and play some really strong defense together as a team defense. I don't see it happening, though. I don't. especially with Steve Nash. Not especially Nash as coach. Now, I could be wrong about all this. Maybe it could happen, but I got to see it to believe it. Right now, I'm not believing it. I'm not. They're missing. They're definitely missing a very profound, dominant alpha voice. Someone that people will really listen to, and it should be, it should be Nash, it should be Kevin Durant, it should be Kyrie. But problem is, all three of these guys, nobody takes these three guys seriously because of what they see or the jargon that be coming out of their mouth. One or the other, because of what they see or because of what be coming out their mouth, and people find it hard to take these guys seriously. So how are you going to lead people? Anyway, that's all I got to say. Let me know what you think about it in the comment section. I would love to hear your opinion. Like, comment, subscribe. Thank you for watching. And I will catch you guys on the next one. We out. Baby.